The Amish. Simple people work in the land, a way of life that eschews the vain luxuries of modern technology. Or does it? We tend to think of the Amish and Mennonites as if they haven't changed at all in the past centuries, but the reality is a lot more complicated. The Amish don't advocate the refusal of all technology. More so, Amish culture generally supports a mindful approach of gradual adoption based on principles of simplicity and practicality. This means that a huge loophole exists for technologies that are primarily work-related. Each community votes on its own rules, which can vary a lot from group to group, but in some cases, they're allowed to use computers and even cell phones so long as they are kept outside the home and are never flaunted. A small number of Amish began adopting computers soon after they first became available to the mass consumer market in the mid-1970s. A particular favorite was the word processor, then a type of hardware rather than software. These were essentially electric typewriters and are hard to view as decadent or frivolous. But as personal computers became more powerful do-it-all machines and began to incorporate elements for personal entertainment like music and games, standalone office devices like the word processor plummeted in popularity. By the late 1990s, most computer companies no longer manufacture them, leaving the Amish without options. Enter Alan Hoover, an old order horse and buggy Mennonite who worked with computer scientists and Amish leaders to build a computer that suited the needs of Amish farms and businesses. But what does an Amish computer even look like? Before we get into that, we turn to our high-tech sponsor, Brilliant. Brilliant is a hands-on and interactive way to learn STEM topics. They offer thousands of courses with new topics to learn every month, like their everyday math course. Their services can be used to supplement a college education or just increase your depth of knowledge. The first 200 people who head to brilliant.org/techwiki will get 20% off an annual premium subscription. The first computer made specifically for the plain people by the plain people was the 2005 Classic Word Processor, an ad for which promised no modem, no phone port or internet connection, no outside programs, no sound, no pictures, no games, no gimmicks. Not even solitaire, that sinister succubus of workday distraction. A big focus is on what features the Classic didn't have, but it did have a built-in keyboard and fold-down 8-inch full-color screen, as well as USB ports for file sharing and optional peripherals like a printer or a mouse. The Amish typically avoid connecting to the power grid, instead relying on pneumatic tools or locally generated power via diesel generators, water wheels, or solar panels, so the Classic uses a battery rather than a wall plug. In order to remove as many connective features as possible, Hoover preloaded the computer with open source programs and then locked it from any further installation. Among its features, the Classic proudly counts its complete incompatibility with all Microsoft computer programs. That's right, the Amish have computers and they're using Linux. All this for the low cost of $798, a fairly standard price for a low-end computer of the era, albeit one that functions roughly like a PC from 5 years prior, according to Hoover. Turns out that some customers are willing to pay a premium for a computer that doesn't come packed with a bunch of nonsense features they don't want and the sinful touch of Bill Gates. Further, these devices were incredibly durable and secure. You might not be able to run Doom on it, but you won't have to replace it in 4 years either. An ad for an updated version of the Classic lists a 12-inch display, dual-core 3 GHz processor, 4 GB of RAM, and a 500 GB hard drive in 2014. By then, the Classic had several competitors, including the Guardian, the Pioneer, the Pleasant, and the Plainbook, a laptop with no video, sound, internet, or games. But it does have a typing tutor, QuickBooks, Microsoft Office, full fax functionality, a PDF reader, and a Bible reader and search program. These plain computers aren't competing primarily based on power or performance. They're competing based on functionality, reliability, and compliance with the guidance of Amish bishops. The key word here is trustworthiness. A modern version of the Classic, currently advertised by the Plain Communities Business Exchange, is the Classic Steward word processor, which comes with a Linux-based operating system, 8 GB of RAM, 120 GB solid-state drive, a 4.1 GHz processor, and a copy of LibreOffice from 2017. Perfect for inventorying your chickens. As most businesses have become increasingly online, Amish business owners have had to follow suit, adopting the internet in small, measured ways. Some use a PC-free email service that allows them to receive emails in the form of a printout on their fax machine, and when they want to answer an email, they just fax right back. A similar service even allows Amish to send faxes to request a basic internet search. One sec, I gotta send out a fax for hot singles in my area. Incidentally, you can't buy the classic or most other plain computers on the internet. You have to call a dealer. Sorry, Amazon. So thanks for watching, guys. If you liked this video, hit like, hit subscribe, and hit us up in the comments, maybe letting us know what everyday technology you'd prefer to live without. And don't say TechWiki.